Okay, haha. This is just a test video. I don't know if I'm going to start this channel or not, but here goes. I am a closeted eclectic witch. I live many hours from my family. My community, my coworkers, my friends all pretty much know here that I'm a witch. I've only been practicing and learning for 4 years now. But I wanted to reach out because I feel like I can't be the only one. I know I'm not the only one. So I wanted to provide a community to others that are closeted as well. So I'm going to set this up under a separate profile from my public profile. And I will go by my chosen witchy name, which is Luna Little Wing. And I'm going to start out with the fact that, okay, I'm a Taurus. And I'm well, sorry. I'm a Taurus to the bone, to my core. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I've heard the arguments about the other type of astrology, and I believe according to that I would be an Aries, but I can confidently say there's not an Aries bone in my body. I'm definitely a solar Taurus and a moon Pisces, which matches Audrey Hepburn, and I totally dig that. It's quite an honor. I've been a fan of hers since I was in high school anyway, and to have found that out was pretty flippin' sweet. So just a little, that's to serve as a little bit of background, because what I have done is in a Tauran, I guess Tauran, I've played WoW. I'm gonna get back into it, and so that's why I have this whole Tauran thing. But I think there's a different term for Taurus people, but I'm going with Tauran. As a Tauran, I love to shop. Now, or at least, sorry, I have a Pomeranian. I love to buy, I'll say. I'm not a big fan of shopping per se, the whole process, but I love to buy things and I love to get things in the mail or to bring home a haul of cool stuff. So that's just a basic background. I am going to review several witch boxes, different kinds. I'm going to start with the witch box, and then I've got a list. I wrote it down. Sorry, one moment. And I also love to write and make lists. So I couldn't sleep this morning, so I got on my phone and had bookmarked an article on, I think for a second, Crate Joy, talking about the top 10 crate subscriptions for witches, and I read the reviews, and out of the 10, I picked 8, I believe. I'm trying to double check. Yeah. Actually, I take that back. I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of those, and then there were 2 other ones that I picked. The first one that was not in that list, but actually what brought me to that list was witch.co. I think she's whitewitch.co. She has a monthly box, so I have subscribed to that. I have been on the waiting list for several months for the Sabbath box. Kind of bummed because for several months I had been working on one myself, developing the idea, because I'm as much as I like to research and list, I'm also a huge procrastinator, and I lose track of time, and I don't properly plan in advance for the Sabbaths. So I thought it would be great to bring together all my research, properly credit it to all the books I've read, and start that box to where I would include what you need for a ritual, the supplies, and some of the tools, because it can get expensive, and it would also be helpful to those like myself who are closeted, but unlike myself, don't live alone, and maybe their family, they might live with their family and not know. I live totally alone, just me and my dog, so I'm able to have my supplies out and have my altar set up. So I thought it would be great to kind of have an altar, a portable altar of sorts, and maybe even have two options. Anyway, that was the background. I was gonna have all the supplies, and I just thought it would be great to send those out for each of the 8 Sabbaths. But then some other brilliant soul thought of it and manifested it before I did. So I was curious, and I got on the list, and then I had seen on YouTube, and I apologize, I will give you credit in the comments. I'm totally new to this. To the individual who had done the review of the witch box. And so I was intrigued, and as soon as I got paid, I subscribed. Then I had done the search, and I had found the article on Cratejoy. So the ones that I picked, I read reviews of all 10 first, and just kind of made a judgment, because I really have no business spending as much as I'm spending on this monthly subscription, but I didn't spend as much as I could. And I also want it to be my own money, because I want it to be a genuine, authentic review of each crate. So the first one I'm going with is Mystic Muse by Modern Mystic. It lists for $45. And I believe they actually did charge a flat $45. So no shipping. And then I also ordered a moon box. It lists for $45, but after shipping, it's $54 a month. With Box of Shadows, but take that back. They are currently not available, so I signed up for their waiting list as well. It starts at $19.99 a month. I don't know what the shipping is going to be, but there was a plus sign, so I know there's going to be shipping. Nova Luna is $28 a month, but after shipping it is $34.73. There's an Awakening. I couldn't read my writing. Awakening in a box. It's $14 a month, but after shipping $19 a month, and you get some crystals in those. There was also Enchanted Crystal. They have one where they send, I believe it's one crystal a month, and it's $16. But I went with the variety, and you get several stones, and it's $58 a month. And then I had seen Honey and Sage Company, and I was going to order that, but it looked to me like it's all bath and pampering products. Not that I don't love those, but I have a huge Longaberger wash box or wash basket full of all that, all these shower gels and lotions that I need to use up first. So I decided to hold off on that one. And then there was a wild crystal in a box. It's $50 a month for crystals. But I believe I saw some so-so reviews and decided against that one. I will double check though. And then I had seen recommended was Moonbox by Gaia. It was not part of the article. It was just listed under on one of the separate pages for one of the individual box orders, because it was the article that gave you the links to 10 of the boxes. It is $39.50 a month, but will be $41.50 after taxes. So after all of that, it looks like I'm going to be spending around $230 a month. But most likely that'll only be the first month or two. I will give them all a chance, but if after a couple months either I can't afford it or I'm just not digging what they have to offer, or both, I will cancel accordingly and let you know. I am on the waiting list for Sabbath in a box. I did order several items from them in the middle of the night. They have a lot of their products available for individual purchase. And they weren't too, the prices weren't bad. So I'm hoping that will get me brownie points in future so that I can get notified a little bit sooner should they broaden their subscription base. So that is a little bit of the background. I apologize for being a total noob at this. I've had little practice at videos, only talking to friends on can't think of the name of it. It was an app where you could Marco Polo, where you could leave video messages for a group of friends or individual friends. So I don't have editing tools. I'm just using my Samsung Galaxy 8 Plus that I'm very excited about. I just got it on Monday. This is Saturday. I've still got a lot to learn. And I'm in a new apartment that I've only lived in for 2 months now. I am 44 years old and getting ready to go through a second divorce. Yes, my mother is so proud, which is why I'm still in the broom closet. I figure she has enough to worry about. Why trouble my Sunday school teacher mother with the fact that her daughter is Wiccan and a practicing witch. I am not going to say where I live. Hopefully that will stick to that with my channel. Obviously I'm from the South. Well, that's pretty obvious. And I am a priestess. I have had two years of training classes. I attended classes, and I have also almost finished Dedicant by Thuri Calafia. Hope I'm saying it right. I'm sorry if I'm not Thuri. And I might even review that book one day. I'm by no means a guru, but I am a solitary. I tried the coven route and got burned. So Being an introvert, I think it's best that I stay a solitary, but that doesn't mean I don't want to interact with my witchy community. So I wanted to offer this as a option for any other introverted solitary practitioners. I respect all religions. I'm not trying to convert anyone. That's pretty much one of our number one things. We're not trying to convert anybody. So feel free to ask me anything. Suggest topics. That would be awesome. I'd actually gone to school to be a teacher, come from a family of teachers, but as soon as I found out I had to take speech class, I said, bye, I'm out. I will pursue other avenues. I went on to change my major to from early childhood education to social work. But I was bored. I had zero desire to be in school. I was in school because my family expected me to be, and I kind of flunked out. Don't let that reflect on my intelligence. I just I don't believe that college is for everybody. I respect those who do go on to get degrees, and I appreciate their effort, but I think it's wasted on a lot of us. We don't all need to go to college. It is, I feel like it is just turned into, instead of an actual service-driven product, it is just about money. And you just go around telling everybody they need to go to college if they want to make something of themselves. And you don't give a rat's butt about the individual. You just want the money. And I think it cheapens that education. I am a conservative, interestingly enough, and I've been quite happy to find out that I am not the only conservative witch out there. I've seen several on Facebook, and it's flippin' sweet. So, won't get into politics. I just wanted to put that out there that I'm conservative. I am a military veteran. I've lived in the Middle East, and I've lived in the Far East, and lived in a few states. And I miss the travel, but and I'm proud to have served, and I wouldn't trade it for anything, and I do miss it. But life happens, and decisions have to be made, and I wound up on the East Coast. That's what we'll say. I wound up on the East Coast, and just trying to find my way like the rest of us. Yeah, sorry, move that. And I feel like I was raised Christian, very Christian. Church on Sunday morning, church on Sunday night, Sunday school Sunday mornings, of course, and church on Wednesday night. And I couldn't get away from it fast enough. If you're interested, I will give you my story and how I got into witchcraft. Please don't waste your time, your breath, your keystrokes on trying to tell me how evil I am or how misguided I am. I don't believe that, and I don't believe in Satan, so I'm not a Satan worshiper. I believe strongly in karma, and I'm a good person. I don't practice dark magic, voodoo, hoodoo, any of that. I'm all about love and light and positivity. And I'm an empath and I'm an intuitive, which is part of the reason, the empath part is part of the reason I also left school, because when you're empathetic, it would have been very difficult to be a social worker. It is a very difficult, thankless profession as it is, but when you bring in empathy, it just compounds it. And you'll find out if you stick around that I forget words a lot. I've always been that way, so please bear with me. We'll get through it. And I'd love to hear from you. Would like to see who else is out there who feels like I do. I also want to give a shout out to Eclectic Spirituality and Lady Leanna. You have been a great blessing to me, and a great comfort, and unintentional mentor, I would say. We've spoken a few times on Facebook and Google Plus and YouTube comments. You're a beautiful soul, and I look forward to hopefully developing a friendship, kinship, and thank you for all that you've done for witchcraft, Wicca, and eclectic spirituality. So please, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you have things you would like to discuss, I'm totally open to it. And any ideas, that I welcome it. So going to quote my favorite band, 311, and say, stay positive, love your life. Blessed be.